All right, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle one of the biggest, most complicated questions of our time. We all use social media, right? But what is it actually doing to us? Is it bringing us all closer together, or is it just pushing us further and further apart? That's the social media paradox we're breaking down today.
I mean, you've definitely felt this, right? One minute you're watching this incredible social movement unfold, connecting people from all over the planet. And then the very next minute, you're scrolling through a comment section that feels like an absolute war zone. It's like digital whiplash, and it leaves you wondering, what is actually going on here?
And this right here, this slide just nails it. It's the two faces of social media. On one side, you have the promise, right? A tool for real dialogue, a way to connect, share big ideas, and finally give a platform to voices that have been pushed to the margins for so long. But then there's the other side, an engine of division, a place that just seems built to make us angry, to lock us in our own little bubbles, and to just chip away at our trust in each other.
So, what's the answer? Well, it's not one or the other. It's both. Social media is absolutely capable of being this amazing tool and this destructive force. So the real questions we should be asking are, why does this happen? What's going on under the hood? And is there anything we can actually do to push things back in a better direction?
Okay, so let's start with the good stuff, the optimistic side of the story. Remember that original vision? This idea that social media would create this incredible global village, connecting all of us in ways we never thought possible?
And for a while there, it really seemed like it was working. The barriers to communication just vanished. All of a sudden, anyone with an internet connection could jump into a global conversation, see different perspectives, and interact with people in real time. And maybe most importantly, it gave this massive megaphone to marginalized voices. I mean, think about movements like the Arab Spring or #MeToo. They were powered by this technology, and they literally changed the world.
But, of course, that's only half the story. Now we've got to look at the dark side, the architecture of division. And the problem often isn't us, the users. It's how these platforms are actually built. And they're built on one single idea, the logic of engagement.
And at the very heart of this is the engagement-driven algorithm. Look, its only job, its entire reason for existing, is to keep your eyes glued to the screen for as long as possible. And it has learned one very powerful lesson. Nothing grabs our attention like a powerful emotional reaction. The stuff that makes us furious or scared or just plain outraged. That's the content that gets the clicks, the comments, and the shares.
And this creates what we call the amplification loop. It works like this. Someone posts something super emotional. The algorithm immediately sees it's getting reactions and boom, it pushes it out to way more people. The post spreads like wildfire. But as it travels, all the important stuff, the nuance, the context, the details, it all gets burned away, leaving just this polarizing emotional core.
So when this loop runs over and over and over again, it does more than just change what we see in our feed. It actually starts to build the digital walls around us, shrinking our world instead of making it bigger.
Which brings us to our first big concept, the filter bubble. The easiest way to think about this is like an invisible information shield that the algorithm builds just for you. Based on everything you've ever liked, shared, or even just paused on, it keeps feeding you more of the same. And, just as importantly, it filters out ideas and perspectives that it thinks you won't like.
Now that filter bubble doesn't work alone. It pretty much shoves you right into an echo chamber. See, this is the social part of the equation. Now you're not just seeing content that agrees with you, you're surrounded by people who agree with you. So your beliefs don't just get confirmed, they get echoed back at you over and over until it feels like pretty much everyone on Earth must think the exact same way you do.
And you have to remember, all of this is being supercharged by a few other really big factors. First, you've got misinformation, which is often designed to be sensational, so it spreads like crazy. Then, you've got identity politics, which can easily be twisted into a really powerful us versus them mindset. And finally, there's anonymity. When people can hide behind a screen name, they feel way less accountable, which makes it so much easier to be nasty. All three of these together, it's a perfect storm for division.
Okay, so I know that all sounds pretty bleak, but the story absolutely does not end there. The good news is none of this is permanent. We can actually talk about how to build a better, healthier conversation online. And this right here might be the single most important thing to remember from this whole explainer. The way social media impacts us is not inevitable. It's not some law of physics. It's the direct result of choices, design choices made by the platforms, and behavioral choices made by all of us. And that means we have the power to change it.
So whose job is it to fix this? Well, pretty much everyone's. The platforms have to step up, right? They need to tweak their algorithms to value more than just raw emotion. And they need to be way more transparent about how this stuff works. Governments and institutions, they have a role to play in setting some fair ground rules. And then there's us, the users. We have a huge responsibility to be more critical, to be more respectful, and to just understand how we're being nudged.
So, what can you personally do starting right now? It all boils down to what we call digital literacy. First, always question where your information is coming from before you hit share. Second, notice when a post makes you feel really emotional. That's a huge red flag. Third, try to engage with respect, especially with people you don't agree with. And last, never ever forget that your feed isn't reality. It's a reality that has been built just for you.
There's this quote that just perfectly captures the whole dilemma. Social media reflects human behavior as much as it shapes it. These platforms are basically a giant mirror. They reflect the best parts of us, our desire to connect, and the worst parts of us, our tendency towards tribalism and division. They don't invent these things, they just put them on steroids.
And that really brings it all back to us. We can't just sit around and wait for some CEO or some politician to fix this for us. The future of how we talk to each other is a shared project. It's our collective responsibility. So the final question is really for you. What role will you play?